Year 2024 is already among us, and now it's time to check out the best sneaker releases that will be happening January 2024. Now, of course, I do want to mention, bruh, this list is kind of nasty. It's a nasty list. As we all know, the year kicks off pretty boring, and it usually amps up throughout the rest of the year. So January is one of them years that sneakerheads, we just get to kick back, save our money, for the most part at least. Subscribe to the channel if any of you guys are new. Make sure you hit the like button, and without further ado, let's get into the most exciting sneakers in January. Right off the bat, we gotta talk about the Nike Zoom Alpha Fly 3 prototype. Now this sneaker already dropped yesterday, January 4th, for the retail price of $285. Now to my surprise, this shoe sold out immediately. A lot of people wanted to pick this up. I am a big fan of like Nike running shoes, and I think that this Nike running shoe is pretty fire. The only problem was I thought the price point for me was a little bit too much because I don't think I'm fine paying $285 retail for these. We're not even including taxes. We're not even including shipping. It's a lot for me. But it's sold out, so I guess people are buying these up. Let me know down below in the comments if you picked them up. Up next is a shocker for me with New Balance. They collaborated with a brand called Snow Peak for the New Balance Neobium Concept 3. Now this sneaker is without a doubt a snow boot. That's the best way I can put it, a snow boot. It releases January 5th, which is today, for the retail price of $300. They're doing a great job in New Balance basketball with the New Balance two-way. Not to mention they're doing great with the runners that we've been rocking, whether that's the 2002Rs, the 1906s, the 860 V2s, the list goes on with them. The 9060s, but now adding something for the wintertime is kind of cool. However, $300 for these, and it's particularly like a skiing shoe if you ask me. I'm gonna leave that up for y'all. A sneaker I know a lot of people is looking forward to, especially my OGs, is that Nike Air Max CB94. This is one of the dopest colorways, not the dopest colorway. It's like almost that home colorway of the OG. It's releasing January 9th for the retail price of $160. So not only is it a nice OG classic Nike basketball shoe, but it's also sitting at a decent price point at $160. And this year will be the revenge of Nike basketball. A lot of Nike basketball sneakers will be re-releasing this year. And I've been a fan of Nike basketball, and I might even pick these up, I'm not gonna lie. Another collaboration that's happening is Atos and Asics are teaming up to drop the Gel Cayano 14, and this one is pretty cool. Now, Asics has been doing a great job as a runner for people that's in the streetwear community. They kind of rebranded their entire brand from a running company to actually having value in sneakers when it comes to streetwear. This sneaker will be dropping January 14th, and the retail price right now is undisclosed, so it could be this, it could be that. Once again, even though I love me a clean pair of Asics, man, this pair in particular, I won't be going for. But shout out to anybody who won't try to pick these up. For our first Air Jordan of January, we got the Air Jordan 1 High Yellow Orch, and this is pretty much to set the tone heading into the new year. Very clean Air Jordan 1, the colorway is pretty neutral. I will be grabbing a pair of these for the channel, so stay tuned for a review. These supposed to be dropping January 13th for the retail price of $180. So that's standard, bro. 180, we used to that, we cool with that. Another Air Jordan 1. Will people be copping these? I don't know. To keep it a bean with y'all, I don't know, man. I wanna get a feel for what we rocking this year, bro. And like I said, a lot of people know that January gonna be slow, so will we pick these up just because it's something to grab, or will we just fall back? I would not be surprised if they sit, but whether the shoe sits or not, it don't mean it's not fire or not to me. Regardless, I'm gonna have it on the channel. We're gonna do the review, we're gonna lock in, so we good on that. We got another Air Jordan, the Air Jordan 2 Python, supposed to be releasing January 20th for the retail price of $175. Now let's talk about it, bro. The Air Jordan 2 is one of them sneakers where you can either hit or miss. And me liking the Air Jordan 2, I own Air Jordan 2 highs, I've owned Air Jordan 2 lows. Haven't always been the biggest fan, if we're being completely honest. The Air Jordan 2 Python for me is simply a miss. I don't like the Python concept on this Air Jordan 2. And I just think they missed on this one. I do think they did a good job at putting a price point at a reasonable price, $175. I mean, it's not like they overpricing it. I just don't like the concept. Let me know down below what y'all think about this and if you will be picking it up, but I can see this sneaker really going to maybe outlets depending on how many they decide to mass produce. Now, it's rumors that the Jordan Airship Midnight Navy will be releasing January 27th for the retail price of $140. And let me tell you right now, bro, if that Air Jordan Airship is dropping in that Midnight Navy, I'm copping. I'm already excited that Jordan Brand is re-bringing out the metallic red Air Jordan High, and I think they're doing like that midnight metallic or that navy in like a low, I believe, this year. I like the Airship, man. I got the every game. I really like the Monier Airship. I think 140 is a steal for an Airship. I really like the sneaker. Very simple, bro. And one of my biggest stilos is less is more, so I like the Airship a lot. Let me know if any of my guys out there really liking that Airship, man. And if you are, will you be copping this come January 27th? Up next, we got an Air Jordan 1 Low OG Chinese New Year. This sneaker is set to release January 24th for the retail price of $160. I like me an Air Jordan 1 Low, man. Chinese New Year has been a staple in Jordan brand. They've always dropped Chinese New Year's, whether that be the Chinese New Year 6s when we wanted the DMPs, the list goes on, but Chinese New Year's is a staple in Jordan brand community. Whether they dropped the Air Jordan 6 Chinese New Year's when everybody wanted the DMPs, I remember that like it was yesterday. The Chinese New Year's here to stay. Now they just adding on to that legacy with a nice pair of Air Jordan 1 Lows. I mean, you really can't complain about it. Now, it was also rumored that an Air Jordan 6 Yellow Orch will be releasing January 27th for a retail price of $200. Now, this one I'm not sure about. You know, a lot of times when you look on these websites, whether it's Sneaker Bar Detroit or Kicks on Fire or whoever come out with these lists for sneakers that's dropping in January, sometimes sneakers can be moved. So I know a lot of times people watch these videos maybe 3-4 weeks after I release it and Jordan Brand decide to keep a shoe, push a shoe, or just not even release a shoe. It happens all the time. So if you're watching this, the list may vary depending on whatever Jordan Brand want to do. They own the kicks. But as of right now, these are scheduled to release January 27th as well for the retail price of $200. It kind of looks exactly like that Carmine colorway. The only difference is instead of the red that we would get throughout the Carmine, we get like this yellow orch throughout the entire upper. And I mean, it's cool. Fall is gonna be here before you know it. This looks like a nice fall shoe. Nothing too crazy. Retail price $200. Me personally, I can go without it because, hey, I'm patient now, man. When you own a lot of sneakers, when you've been copping sneakers for a long time, you learn to be patient. I used to be on my Pokemon timing, bro. I used to have to catch them all, but now I really cop the ones that I feel like I'm aware and the ones that I feel like I can't miss, and I don't want to have to go back later and pay a ridiculous amount of money for it. Me personally, if I didn't cop this Air Jordan 6, I wouldn't lose no sleep, so I think I'm leaning over towards maybe not grabbing these. However, I will still probably have them for the channel for sure. Now, of course, there's a lot of other sneakers like Nike Dunks and Air Force Ones that will be dropping in January as well, but I decided to not talk about those on the channel today. If you want to see more info about sneakers like that, then drop a comment down below and I can make sure I do it next month when it comes about February sneaker releases. And speaking of February sneaker releases, that's when things gonna get kind of crazy, right? We got Air Jordan 3s dropping, we got Air Jordan 5s dropping. I think February is when we're gonna slowly start picking things up. And remember, February is All-Star Weekend month. So you know, come All-Star Weekend, come Super Bowl, that's when Jordan Brand really get in their bag and they try to be creative and try to put together different releases that's really gonna bring hype and just bring notoriety towards the brand. So that's something we definitely gotta look forward to. Subscribe to the channel if you wanna stay notified on the best sneakers coming out each month, or if you just enjoy sneaker content. My Instagram, Twitter, TikTok is all linked down below. Make sure you give me a follow over there if you wanna see more content that doesn't make it to the channel. Until next time, it is your boy Sniper Jones. You know I cannot leave without saying that everybody wanna be famous, but really put in that work though. Snipe Squad, I love y'all. Dream big.